Hi, I'm Theo. Today with Big K, I'm going to be making some gorgeous St. Louis style pork ribs. I mean, look at the size of these bad boys. And we're going to make a really nice punchy bourbon and chipotle marinade to go all over the top. It's going to soak in and we're going to cook them on an indirect heat. So stay tuned to see how we get on. Let's start making this lovely marinade. Now with all marinades, what I would say is use 3/4 on the food, save 1/4 of it and use this as a dressing at the end. Now it's time to get your hands dirty, so get in there. Right, so they're nicely coated. We're going to leave those to marinade. I'm going to wash my hands and then we're going to get that bad boy fired up. So these ribs we're doing today, they're going to take a good couple of hours to cook, which means you want some high performance briquettes or charcoal. So Big K, I've been working with for years. I love the guys there. And I'm also really loving this new product, the Coco shell barbecue briquettes. So this is made from the coconut shells, so it's sustainable. There's no timber in this product. High performance, they last for ages. They burn at a nice high heat, which means my ribs are gonna have a couple of hours to cook well and truly well in here. And it's really simple to get going. We're going to use the Chimney Method of lighting the briquettes, which to be honest is so easy to do. A couple firelighters in the bottom of your grill. Put your chimney over the top. We're going to fill this with our briquettes. This couldn't be easier. Light the firelighters, rest that on top, and in about half hour these will be glowing. It's been about 20 minutes, our coals are nicely ashen, and there's a little tip for you as well. When you get briquettes, you can tell the purity of a briquette by the colour of the ash. Now you can see these, a beautiful white ash on there, which says there's no impurities in the Coco shell briquettes from Big K. These are nicely cooked, and we're going to pour these into our 2 trivets. If you haven't got these at home, you can just push them to one side. Now, while we're going to put our ribs on there, I've got a few sweet potatoes. I'll just put a bit of olive oil, a load of salt, give them a little mix. We're just going to drop these down the centre so that we've got something to have with our pork ribs. Now I also spotted a few little apple trees in the garden. So I'm going to lift up the sides of here and we're just going to drop a couple of branches, and this is just going to add a bit of smokiness to it all. We're just going to let them smoke. So let's get the lid on. You can moderate the heat of this. You've got vents on the top of your barbecue. If you leave that open, oxygen is going to fly in from the bottom vents and out, and it's going to increase the heat. If we close it, it's going to calm it down. We're going to leave the bottom vents open so it constantly feeds that coal. We're going to leave this open until we get to our temperature. Then we're just going to close it, keep an eye on it, and in about 2 hours, we are going to come back for a pork fest. It's been about 2 hours. The ribs I think are about perfect now. I've had a sneak peek, they look great. I'm starving, let's dive in. Here we go. Okay, there are ribs, and now we've got underneath our sweet potatoes that have been roasting away as well, so let's get them out. And all that leftover marinade that we kept a third of, we've now got, and we're just going to drizzle some of that over those. And that's done. Look at those pork ribs. That's using the Coco shell briquettes, which have performed outstanding. Oh, I can't believe how hot they still are. And this looks delicious, so let's dive on in. Fabulous.